welcome you into Doug Kingsmore Stadium on a beautiful Friday night for ACC baseball. No better way to start the month of May than a big ACC showdown between the number 20 Boston College Eagles and the host Clemson Tigers. Hi, everybody. Alongside Coach Ron Smith, I'm William Quackenbush. Thanks for joining us today. Coach, BC 7-2 in their last 9 ACC games, rolling through the month of April. Clemson trying to get things going just in the nick of time here.
Yeah, well, Boston College playing with a lot of confidence. That's easy to do when you're winning. Clemson, on the other hand, struggling a little bit. They're facing some adversity. It's a test of their team leadership and unity. If they can come out playing their best baseball in May, they'll be stronger for it.
Well, if they are going to win this series this weekend, it's going to be because of this man, Luke Gaffney, who's as hot as anybody in the ACC right now.
Well, his last 7 games have just been outstanding. As you can see, they're hitting .536 with 4 home runs and 9 RBI. He's been consistent all year, though. What I like more than anything, 27 walks, only 16 strikeouts.
Very tough to get out. Louisville found that out the hard way last week. Nick Wang has been fantastic for Boston College. 14 long balls on the year.
Yeah, this guy's a big physical hitter. Doesn't run real well, but a very, very advanced approach at the plate. 56 RBIs on the season. He's a 5th-year senior and a really good leader for this Boston College team.
Tigers will start this series with Dane Moeller. Here's the starting 9 that he'll be facing. 6 right-hand batters. And up and down, batting averages galore, base hit, I mean, all over the place. You got guys who can hit it. Julio Solier leads the charge at .356 average.
Yeah, and they all steal bases. A lot of pressure. They manufacture runs. That's the hallmark of a Todd Interdonato coached baseball team.
Dane Moeller, a strike thrower. And at 6:02, we start things off. There's a look at Moeller. He's a freshman and still sort of coming back. Had elbow surgery last year. It's his 3rd straight weekend that he has started in ACC play. He's not gone more than 2 innings so far all year.
It'll be interesting to see if they can stretch him out a little bit today. 4-pitch mix. Through the 1 changeup and 3 fastballs so far, but you know, he throws the 2-seam fastball, the 4-seam fastball, a changeup, and a slider. So and throws strikes. Got a good arm.
Pumping fastballs right now. That one 93 fouled back.
And well located. Down and in. That's a tough pitch to foul off, and Solier did a nice job of just battling to see another pitch.
You will not see a ton of power from Boston College, but don't mistake that for a lack of hard contact. They rip the baseball. They know what they're doing to create runs.
And they play at home in a park that they're really hard to hit the ball out of the park. It's big. Wind blows in a lot.
A rope right at Tyler Lichtenberger at short. Seven-pitch exchange goes to Moeller.
Yep. Throw strikes. Played 9-on-1 baseball. That was the first breaking pitch that we saw from Moeller. Hit hard, but again, that's why you've got 8 guys behind you.
Now this Boston College team, they've got a lot of guys that can steal bases. They got a lot of guys that can hit. Only one has double figures in home runs and stolen bases. And it's Nick Wang with 14 long balls and 11 steals on the year. There's nothing this guy can't do.
Yeah, and he, again, just a really good approach.
This ball's going to carry into the early night, and it's carrying well out of here. From time to time at this part of the night, you get the ball up in the left, it'll carry if the wind's not blowing in. And Wang gets it out. That's 15 for him on the year, an early lead for the Eagles.
Yeah, and Crichton, I think, at first thought that he had a chance to catch that ball up against the wall, but it continued to carry another breaking ball, and he dropped his bat head down there and made really good contact and drove it into the left field stands.
And we don't have the benefit of a strike zone here, but I'm not sure that was a strike. It looked like a good pitch. This ball just misses Lichtenberger's glove in an infield single. for Ty McNulty.
Yeah, that was a fastball really in on McNulty. Hit off the hands and just hit in a spot that really tough for Lichtenberger to make a play.
Moeller pounding the strike zone. He got hit hard by Wang. That one, the opposite end of the spectrum. Put a man at first with 1 out. And now we'll see as Gerald comes out to talk to Moeller. Jacob Gerald, a multi-year captain for the Tigers. They've got to be occupied with runners. You can't just let them be at Boston College because they will absolutely eat your lunch.
Well, McNulty's 17 of 19, and again, up and down the lineup, they will run any count. Doesn't matter how many outs.
Gunnar Johnson, the cleanup hitting catcher, stands in now. 13 extra base hits on the year. Moeller pitching with men on base. Early trouble. Tigers changed their rotation this weekend.
Yeah.
And there's a look. Aiden Canuck has been a mainstay, whether it's Thursday or Friday in these series, 21 times. The first one was scheduled. I guess this one was as well. Just trying to jog a little life into this team.
I think you make a few changes if you're struggling a little bit, but I think overall you have to stick with what you have emphasized all year long, what you believe in. Wow.
2-2 pitch. Got him.
Looked like a little bit of a slider.
He's got 14 strikeouts in 11 innings.
Yeah, maybe that was a changeup. Kind of hard to tell there. Really well located, though, regardless.
Good location, down and away, 2 out. Here's Luke Gallo. Freshman, 336, 34 RBIs. Again, almost no pop from this team. Wang, in fact, 15 of their 38 home runs this year have come from just him. So a lot of these guys 1-2 home runs, but the RBI numbers also very consistent.
Up and down the lineup, they've got a lot of guys who have, they get that base hit with a man on second and third and 2 outs. Get that ground ball to get up the middle, and hey, that does a lot of damage. You'll see this team bunt a lot, sacrifice bunts, get guys in scoring position. As we said, they want to manufacture runs, and they execute very, very well.
Gallo only 16 strikeouts this year and 128 at bats. Runner not going, and Moeller just missed south of the knees.
Yeah, that was close.
Been limited to around 35 pitches. I think it's about as far as he's gone, so out to throw number 20. And the slow recovery after elbow surgery, with a young arm, you've got to be careful.
And you just, you want to win ball games, but you cannot at the expense of a young man's arm.
Jaron Purify gets it out of the glove and makes the out. Side retired, but BC strikes first. Nick Wang, we called and he answered with a long fly to left. Tigers chance coming up. Boston College Eagles, A.J. Colarusso, 6 foot 205, senior, and a guy who has done a lot of quality pitching in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
You talk to Coach Interdonato, he says just a great competitor. Not overpowering stuff, commands 4 pitches, and but just really competes. He has started more baseball games than any other pitcher in Boston College baseball history.
And you will be able to see that here because he is the very definition of a crafty lefty. Here's the Clemson batting order. 7 right-hand batters against him. This is going to be probably your normal 9. The key note here, Jaron Purify smack in the middle of this lineup. First time in 6 weeks he's been written into that opening lineup.
Yeah, what a difference maker he is. His energy, his athleticism, his explosiveness. You saw already in the first inning of that game, that inning, the really nice play up the middle. His range allowed him to get over there in front of. That was a tough play, and he made it look easy.
There's a look at Purify, one of the captains for this team. Certainly a shot in the arm to get him in the lineup. Tigers would hope that he gets to hit here in the first inning. They'd like a rebound run, and the best hitter on this team start to finish so far this season has been Nate Savoy, and Eric Bakich has enjoyed the opportunity to hit him in the leadoff spot.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at what he does offensively, he's just very consistent, does not strike out a whole lot, gets on base at a high percentage, hits with some power. That's it. I mean, I think it's one of the moves you make when maybe you're trying to shake things up a little bit. A little shift there from the Boston College defense.
Savoy takes a strike, and it's 0-2. Here's a look, 3 to the left side of the infield.
A lot of room there in the 4-hole.
Savoy's got a 9-game hit streak coming into this one. 5 hits and 11 at-bats with 5 runs scored and 3 driven in at Louisville. And he takes an 0-2 pitch to center field. Tigers get the leadoff man on.
And that's a pitch that Colarusso would like to have back. 0-2, pretty much looked like a bit of an off-speed pitch, but about belt high down the middle. And Savoy didn't try to do too much with it. Just did a nice job of delivering it into right center field.
This is the the 4th time that he has hit in the leadoff spot in conference play, I believe. Did it the Virginia, starting during the middle of the Virginia series. And he gets on base almost every time. He's done a good job of understanding his role. Nick Schnabel, the third base coach, hoping to see Savoy. Luke Gaffney's now on a 2-0 count against Colarusso. Look at the last 7 games for Luke Gaffney. I mean, what a... I mean, he's in fuego right now. What a week.
And that has elevated his batting average to 327. Good hack on that 2-0. That pitch might have been up a little bit, William, but I like the aggressiveness. He was looking fastball, might have been just barely up, but boy, that was a good hack. He just missed it.
One of the things a good leadoff hitter does, like Savoy, takes that ball to right center field. Looked like it almost gave Gaffney permission to try to do the same thing. Foul ball back, it's 2-2.
Well, pitchers are so good now, moving the ball in and out, changing speeds, the velocity. It is really tough to hit if you only hit to one field. You've got, you know, good hitters use the entire field.
11 straight games with a hit for Gaffney, and he won't get it here. Colarusso snuck it right by him. That was down the middle at 91.
Oh, it had a little life on it. Good fastball, just a little bit of movement, well located. As you said, at 91 miles an hour. I think that was more about the location than anything else. He had moved him in and out, up and down.
One thing that's interesting about Colarusso, you look at the best pitchers inside of the ACC. A 3.92 ERA is up there. The whip of 1.36. He allows some base runners, teams hitting mid-260s against him. But what it tells me is that he is very comfortable pitching with men on base.
Yeah.
And that is not something that every pitcher possesses, but you'd love it from your Friday guy.
Well, I think it's a function of his experience. It's a function of, as we mentioned, his great competitiveness.
Big cut there by Jarrell, and it's 0-2. Jacob Jarrell, again, we talked about multi-year captain, 16 homers, leads the team. Second straight year he's had 15+ bombs here at Clemson. Foul back. Tried to elevate.
Yep, trying to climb that ladder. And, you know, despite, I mean, he's 90 with his fastball, but it gets on you quick. And he's not afraid to pitch up in the strike zone.
All right, you saw there's communication going on in the dugout. Of course, you've got the pitch comm system. But you saw Colarusso there. He nodded okay and sort of got set. And then time was called, and he looked in the dugout and said, no, no, no. So you wonder if there's a comfort level here with a guy who's making 40+ starts. Hey, you want to shake something off, you got a little freedom to do that. Another 0-2 pitch, Dude Jarrell. Got him. Boy, back-to-back, come and get it fastballs for strikeouts with a man aboard against two tough right-hand batters.
Yeah, and again, not velocity that's overpowering, but just a little bit of movement and well located just above the comfort level for the right-handed hitter to get his bat head there. That's one of those where you've got to keep your hands above the baseball.
Ball goes off the glove of the catcher Johnson. That'll let Savoy get a base ahead.
You think that's a pass ball?
I think so.
We need to confer on that.
You think Brian needs some help with that one over there? Tristan McCladdy's at the plate now. McCladdy, one of the great things that he provides is two-out hitting. May not see it here, though. A big league pop-up caught by Wang coming in. And the leadoff single matters not. BC leads a run. Eagles have really put together a great resume. They're up 1-0 today. They're looking for win 17 in the ACC. It would give them 35 overall. If you look at the numbers there, again, not a lot of competition in the top 25, but good enough numbers there. The RPI probably going to be pretty firm. And I think they're pretty well entrenched as a 2 seed right now, which is where D1 baseball has them slotted.
Yep. Well, unless they collapse here, which is doubtful. I mean, they're just a solid team that plays hard. And Coach Donato, he recruits players that play to his style, which is we mentioned creating runs, stealing bases, sacrifice bunts.
It's at a mile in the air. Kyle Wolf. Plays made by Lichtenberger. 1 gone. 2 pitches. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, just he recruits guys that can do those things. And you mentioned that there's only one guy, Wang, who really hits with a lot of pop, but everybody else is consistent. They battle. They can run a little bit, and they create runs.
Here's Danny Serwick. Takes outside the first baseman.
You know what you say on those pop-ups like that when everybody's there and the shortstop ends up taking it.
Ball ripped down the line, down into the corner. Rounding first, strong throw in. Serwick's in with a 2-bagger. He's got 4 doubles on the year.
You say, let the sure hands take it if you're the guy that catches it.
There you go.
Yeah. And the other guys look at you like, yeah, jerk.
How about 105 off the bat into the corner?
That ball was hit.
3rd hit of the game for the Eagles. 3 sophomores at the bottom of this order. A lot of good situational baseball here at the bottom 3rd. Ben Williams will give you that, center fielder. Climb the ladder.
Yep, good fastball.
Williams, a sophomore from New Hampshire. More of a defense first guy, but again, has some ability to impact the game with his bat, as you're talking about. All the little things they do well, and this ball's tagged. And he can't get there. McClatty watches that one go off the wall, and it's back-to-back doubles, this one with an RBI. How about Williams' first extra base hit of the year coming here in the 2nd inning?
Again, another fastball that's away. Williams lets the ball get deep, gets his hands above the baseball, and is able to drive it into right field. Really good piece of hitting.
So Serwick scores, and now time is called. Jimmy Bellinger out. Chat with Dane Moeller. Good genes. Dad Brian pitched in the big leagues for a long time. I think it's good coaching a lot. Here's Justin Legurnick in the bullpen. And we talked about Moeller's been capped at around 35 pitches so far. A couple innings, been 1 time through the order, maybe a batter or 2 more than that. But sitting there, you see the pitch count on the top of your screen, 25. Good time to get Legurnick up. Now with a man in scoring position, there's a 9-hitter, Colin Larson. I think they heard me say the bottom 3rd of this order is more situational baseball. How about double-double?
Yeah. And, I mean, here you got Colin Larson hitting just .228, but he's 20 of 21 in his stolen bases. So he's finding a way to contribute offensively.
He's a perfect guy to hit 9th. Not a great batting average, but again, as you said, when he gets on, he's a problem. How about this? 36 walks.
Yeah.
Tied for the team lead.
And, getting on base at a .436 pace. I mean, that's really good.
Of course, they're missing a really good piece to this Boston College lineup in Jack Toomey. He's been out the last handful of games. He's had a very strong year at the back end of a very strong career.
Well, we've talked about, when you have one guy out, it can make a difference. I think having Purify out for the last several weeks has really impacted this Clemson team.
Shallow, very shallow. This will be Purify's ball at second.
His energy is contagious, and he is one of the leaders. And what he does on the field, and he just gets excited. It can really be contagious.
Here's Solier. Line out right to Lichtenberger. He battled with 2 strikes, and now Eric Bakich going to come and get Dane Moeller. And Moeller's off the back of the mound. You can tell he really wanted to get through this inning. The 30 pitch mark. And it's also the guy who had a 7 pitch at bat. So if you're coming up close to a pitch cap, you hate to take a guy out in the middle of an at bat.
And hit the ball hard.
He did.
He had the line drive to Lichtenberger and really saw the ball pretty well against him. So
lefty Justin Legurnick in the game. We'll introduce you to him in a moment. Gurnick, his team down by 2, man in scoring position, and he'll face the leadoff man. This is a guy who has started games in his career. He has been nails in the back of the bullpen this year for Eric Bakich. You see the ERA, the 29 innings of 37 strikeouts. And Legurnick is also a guy that they trust as a veteran in some of these mid-inning clashes where you need an out right now.
And, they'd like to see him post 3 or 4 zeros, too, because they, this beginning of this series, you got 3 games and 27 innings to play. You'd like to get, you don't want to just wear out your bullpen in this first ball game.
He pitched twice against Louisville over the weekend, got the loss on Sunday in the 10th inning, but came in and really did a good job out of the pen in the 8th and 9th. He came in with a couple of guys on base and did well again to get through the 8th. Spotless 9th for him to give the Tigers a chance to win the game potentially in 10. Here's Solier. Again, that line drive. Ground ball, it sneaks through. Base hit. Williams to the plate. The throw's cut off. It's a 3-run lead for BC. RBI for Solier is 27th.
When things are going well, those are hits that go through the infield. That was a 4-hopper hit to the left of Purify, and boy, he's got great range, and I love that he got dirty, tried to keep the ball in the infield, but was unable to do so. But when things are going well, that's what happens. You find that hole.
Here's Wang, 96. A little extra mustard on that one from Legurnick. You might say throw soft to the power guy, but Wang hit a curveball out of here that he about had to hit like a pitching wedge.
He golfed it out of here.
Little run and hit for BC, and it's fouled back. And Solier, 24 of 27.
Yeah, he's not going to be at first base long.
No.
You know, I think especially with, even though Wang's got really good power, with 2 out, you want to get that runner into scoring position.
That's another thing. You talk a lot about how you protect guys like Wang. Make sure they see pitches. And certainly getting somebody on base is good, as that one just missed. But then Mainolfi's hitting .337 behind him with 46 ribbies. You can't just put him on and face the next guy. Again, the hit and run down the line.
He's going to score.
Rounding third. Solier not even thinking about stopping. The throw won't come near the plate. How about 4 in the first 2 innings for BC? And the beat rolls on for the Eagles. You want to talk about making a statement on the road. Come out and suck the life right out of a stadium like this.
Yes. And again, not trying to do too much. You know, the first inning, he got a pitch he really liked, down and in, drove it into the left field seats. That one sat back on a fastball away, 96 miles an hour, and just served it right down the right field line. Didn't try to do too much of it.
Here's Mainolfi. Takes upstairs. Singled his first time up.
6 hits for Boston College already.
And maybe the only one that was kind of cheap was Mainolfi's. Kind of just coaxed one into the outfield. The rest of them have been lasers. Even the one from Wang right there that it looked like he almost swung one-handed. Slapped that ball right down the chalk.
Well, I'm not sure if I would throw him anything but breaking balls. At this point, he has not looked good against those 2 breaking pitches.
He didn't look good against that one either. He'll take his medicine and sit down. 4 hits in the inning, 3 doubles, and 3 runs across for BC. Just let off a bunch of innings in his college career as Jaron Purify. Again, this is not the first time that he's played since March 21st when he got hit on the hand, but those have been late game subs, mostly as a pinch runner to come in a game. He swung the bat once or twice, and he gets a nice ovation from the fans here.
Glad to see him back in the lineup.
Nobody more excited, I bet, than Eric Bakich, who has been really in media interviews and even privately in conversations. Incredibly hopeful every time you talk to him that the next time you speak that he'll be able to tell you that Jaron Purify is playing. You can tell not quite 100%. Still trying to get the feel all the way back, but you saw the range. He just gives you so much. You talked about the leadership that he provides.
Good hack there. But you know, he's got to get some at bats, feel comfortable up there again. I mean, there's a difference between obviously BP and game type situations, and it's hard to simulate that.
Colarusso climbed the ladder to get strikeouts 2 times in the first 2 innings, and he went too high there. Two-two pitch upstairs. Yeah, one of the storylines the last few weeks, you would ask, you know, let's say mid-March, who are the 3 best hitters on Clemson's team? Jaron Purify and Tristan McClatty would have been on everybody's list, along with Nate Savoy. And both those guys have missed time as this team was trying to figure it out, as Colarusso locks him up. 3rd strikeout for A.J. Colarusso.
That was a pitch right on the inside corner. Really well located.
Look at him hop off the mound right here. He knows it too. Excited.
Again, not overpowering. 88-91 with his fastball, but location, mixing his pitches. And being left-handed helps a little bit too, for some reason.
They say you can never have too much pitching, but really it is you can never have too much left-handed pitching. Right? Here's Tyler Lichtenberger. You know, in league play, quietly, that average is creeping up a little bit. His on base is very high in the last dozen games. 89 snapped the mitt there.
Again, he's got a little life on his fastball. It's not just a fastball that comes in straight. It's got a little movement.
Grounder gets through. I'm telling you, every game you see a little bit more from Lichtenberger in the box. Hitting .290 now in league play.
That ball was hit 102 off the bat, so it was hit hard. It was solid contact.
3rd straight game with a hit. He was 3 for 9 in the Louisville series, and he walked a few times in there. Jack Crichton takes away for ball 1.
You mentioned that Colarusso's used to pitching with men on base. You saw the first look at his move. That was not his best, but he really gets the ball quickly to home plate. Often teams that run a lot are really good at holding runners, because in the fall, you know, their pitchers are facing guys that want to run, and so they, I mean, it's just it's something that a mindset that I think makes them do a better job at holding runners.
Jack Crichton hit .294. You know, I think it's also interesting. Lichtenberger, I mentioned 3 hits. He also walked 5 times and was hit by a pitch last week. So you're running the bases 9 times. I think the more times you stand at first base, the better you are at not letting the pitcher manage your appearance. Crichton tags 1. Going to be caught by Williams. You think there's something to that?
Yeah. And I think there's a confidence level, too, that increases.
Now you think about this Boston College lineup. I mean, these guys that are still on a base, you know, there's nobody with like a .240 on base percentage with 19 steals. Yeah, they're all on base a ton. Here's Jason Fultz Jr. This is another guy with a high on base percentage. He rifles one through. Youngster didn't wait long to get the bat off his shoulder.
Change up over the middle of the plate. And this is where Clemson needs the base hit. Need those 2-out hits. 2-out RBIs really help you win ball games. And you've seen 2 ground balls. Now that ball was more of a line drive, but if you look at Lichtenberger's, that was a ground ball that went through the infield. And that's what Clemson needs right now.
Clavon did not hold up. A little antsy.
Yeah, he was looking for something else, obviously. That ball was about a 55-foot changeup.
Catcher Johnson trying to put himself back together after want to block that ball. Get the earpiece for pitch comm in there. Clavon chopped down the line. Tough transfer. It gets away. 1 run's in. They're going to send the other one. Throw into the plate. Offline. A big mistake cost the Eagles 2 runs, and Clavon's speed becomes a problem as he's all the way at third.
Can't teach speed, and it put a lot of pressure on Gallo, the third baseman for BC. He double clutched. I don't think he had a clean transfer as he charged that ball. And you see it right here. Ball hit at the second hop, and you saw that he just didn't have a real good grip on the baseball. I feel like Sorick needs to do a better job of maybe just blocking that so that the runs don't score. You might even come off the base and block that so that you've got bases loaded, 2 outs. That's a big error.
Ruled a 3-base error. And now Nate Savoy single on an 0-2 pitch, his first time up. That put a little life back in this place. It was a moan and groan crowd after the first inning and a half. And I'll tell you, home runs are big. I actually think a play like that, where you put pressure on a team and you watch them crack a little, I actually think that might be better for a home crowd in some ways.
Yeah, I thought you made a great point. Clavon's speed really changed the dynamic of that play.
3-pitch strikeout and a rebel yell from Colarusso. 2 unearned runs slice the lead in Clemson. You'll notice a common theme here with all of these base knocks. They're going Oppo. Look at these right-hand hitters going the other way.
Yep, all up.
Double by Serwick, double by Williams, single by Solier, and then Wang with almost like a 1 1/4 handed swing. I mean, look at the numbers there, just peppering the ball all over the yard, and 2 hits with runners in scoring position.
Well, the Gurnett, what a nice arm.
Gets a clean inning to work with here after giving up an inherited runner and then one of his own, finishing up the 2nd inning instead of Dane Moeller, who faced the entire lineup through one time. Oh, did Gaffney catch it? He did!
What a play.
Oh, a sensational play to avoid McClatty.
Boy, really nice communications. Normally, that would be the second baseman's ball, but he had to run so far. Gaffney with a really nice job. You see him check for the fence. Boy, that's just big time. Really big time. And you heard Jacob Gerald, Clemson catcher, calling out how many steps he had before he's 3, 2, 1. Really good communication.
He did not call out how many steps he had to McClatty, and I think Tristan thought he was about to get trampled. A fine play by a player in Gaffney that continues to mature before our eyes. Again, we talked about his batting average in league play is getting closer to 300. He's got the 11-game hit streak and just continues to impress at first base defensively after what he would tell you was a disappointing 2025. Came in as a freshman All-American at Purdue. Here's Luke Gallo, a 2-1 to him, just low.
I think it's really hard for a freshman who has a really big year to come back as a sophomore and follow it up. For some reason, they forget how hard they work. They think, oh, I've got this, and I don't know. I think it's easy for a sophomore to come back, and I'm not saying that he was complacent in any way, but plus the league knows you. They know your weaknesses, and as a freshman, that's not the case.
Rocket on the ground, base hit through the left side. That is 7 base hits for Boston College. What's amazing is they've got 7 hits. 6 different guys have them.
Yep. That's a really nice swing. That ball was in on his hands. He got his hands inside the ball. Ball was down. He just dropped his bat head on it and really hit the ball hard in the 6 hole. Gallo, I think that's he's wanting to make up for that error.
I would say so. He's on his way to doing it right now.
You know, he's a great example of a guy who, he's a third baseman, and he's not your typical, big, strong, strapping type third baseman. He just kind of gets the job done.
Ball in the dirt, and as you would imagine, Gallo thought about it. Stay put at first base.
I'm really surprised that he did not go.
Yeah, 7 of 8 on steals. Sometimes if a guy thinks he ought to have been at second base, he might try to take it the next chance. He doesn't, and he takes ball 2. We've seen multiple hit and runs called and executed so far in the game.
Yeah.
It would be a hit and run count.
Going back to Gallo, he's 5'10", 170. That's not your typical third baseman. Just a freshman.
Understands the job he has to do. I've watched him the last couple times. Nice hustle there out of the dugout. Flip a ball to the fan. That's how you have a nice series.
That's
you
right.
make friends down the line. It's going to be a fun weekend.
Especially in that situation where they're right on top of your bullpen. There he goes. And
that ball's hammered. That's not coming back. Kyle Wolf hits a car. His 6th home run of the year, a moonshot to left, 400 feet, and it's 6'2" Boston College.
In college baseball, the hitters are good enough that regardless of how hard you throw, in this case a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, they're going to catch up to it if they're looking for it and you don't change speeds. You can see that it was on the inside part of the plate, and he did a great job, again, of getting his hands inside the ball and his bat head out front. Really compact swing. Very impressive.
2nd home run of the day, the 5th extra base hit for the Eagles. 3 doubles and 2 homers so far. And again, 4 different players, including the batter at the plate, Danny Serwick, have extra base hits already with just 1 out in the 3rd inning. That ball's lined and caught. Look at Gaffney. 2 fine plays in the inning for Luke Gaffney. That one's worth another look. Man, oh man, good play.
Yeah, on a breaking pitch, and the Eagles are just really doing a nice job of staying on the baseball and trying to find the fat part of the bat, and they've done a good job so far.
So catch one more time. Whew.
It's good to be 6'3".
I'm curious your thoughts on this. It can be a bit dangerous for a first baseman to be comfortable moving to his right, because sometimes it takes him off the bag. Luke Gaffney is very comfortable, though, making plays to his backhand side. For a right-handed first baseman, that it's an interesting skill that he appears to have.
Yep. He's pretty athletic.
One, two. Got him. 2nd strikeout for Legurnick. We've got Todd Interdonato coming up with us. We'll talk Boston College's 6-2 lead after this. I'm pleased to be joined by Todd Interdonato, head coach of Boston College. Boy, what a way to start a weekend. Offensively, you got to be very pleased with what you've seen from your team so far.
Yeah, I liked, obviously, Wang getting the big hit in the 1st inning. You know, we've talked a lot about this year about trying to get control of games. And I feel like, you know, once, especially on the road, man, like you score first and you get that first 0, it just really, you know, really settles you down and gets you confident. You know, so yeah, I felt really good about it.
Coach, you've had 8 base runners. 6 of them have scored. Really good job of your hitters doing a job with guys on base.
Yeah, it seems like, you know, it seems like this year, you know, Kyle right there, it seems like when, you know, our guys are getting hit, they seem to be pretty impactful, and obviously good start so far with that as well.
Yeah, Colarusso has been very good as well. It's a pop-up. I think it's going to reach the seats, and it will. What have you seen from him that you like so far in the first couple frames?
I thought, you know, after the error we made right there, turning their lineup over, the fact that he punches that out, that is just experience. That's toughness. That's competitiveness. You know, him going right back at it, right? Like, doesn't feel sorry for himself, goes right back at it, attacks his own, and gets us off the field.
Yeah, picks up his infielder. You know,
exactly.
I love that, and you talked about his competitiveness, and we've seen that. He's not bothered when guys are on base. I mean, he's still attacking.
Yeah, he's really comfortable in his stretch delivery. Again, he's just a pro. Like, he's just a pro, so it's really fun to coach him. Ooh, that looked good.
Pretty close pitch there. Yeah, 2-1 count. You coming into a series, I mean, you guys did look like pedal to the floor from the word go. What was your message to your team before this game today?
Yeah, we just set out. You know, we have some good pitch. What was that, right? Let's change it. What are you doing here? Okay. You know, so I felt like we've done a really good job of just kind of taking each game independently. We just talk about trying to knock off the next win. You know, right now we're trying to go attack our 17th ACC win, and off to a good start so far.
Great stuff. Coach, we'll let you run. Thanks for the time. Best of luck rest of the way.
Ron, thanks for everything, man. Through my career, I know, you know, maybe not a lot of people know this, but Ron and I coach against each other for a while. And, you know, the veteran guy in the league taking care of the younger guy in the league, I've never forgotten that. So thank you for the way you treated me during those years.
Okay, my pleasure.
All right, thanks, guys.
That's awesome, man. You guys did have 100 battles.
Did we?
Furman, Wofford.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know if people know. A lot of hatred in that rivalry, and to be honest, maybe a lot of hatred from coaches, naturally.
Yeah.
But as he said, I mean, you talked about how your relationship developed over time with him.
It did, yeah. And honestly, we had similar situations. You know, two small private schools, high academics, and not a lot of support in terms of scholarship money.
One of those guys pictured coached against Todd Interdonato. The other one's got a beard. Colarusso's got it going. 7-pitch at bat, a strikeout of Luke Gaffney. That's the second time he punched him out.
Yep. I mean, that is just right on the corner. I like the way Johnson received that, kind of closed his hand to make it look more and more like a strike, and it was on the corner.
There's Jacob Jarrell, high pop-up. A little more room over there, but not enough. Here's a look at Jarrell. And the numbers very good. The run production excellent from a senior catcher. A little behind that one, 0-2.
Yeah, a little slider. Mixes pitch as well. You're going to see that elevated fastball again. He's been going to that a lot. There it was.
Yeah, and you could tell Colarusso he's comfortable and confident with that because he shook something off big. Yeah. He said, absolutely not throwing it.
And I think that I would rather have a pitcher feel good about it, to throw a pitch with conviction, the one that he wants, even though it might not be strategically the best pitch to throw at the time.
Again, straight up left side. Looks like the catcher can't find it, and now it's out of play. You know, we were talking about Todd Interdonato, and it's hard to do now with the portal. It's hard to sort of plot the growth of a program. A lot of times it's waves up and down. Look at the linear growth, though, from 22-27. They're not stopping at 34 wins. That is real maturity going on in his third season.
And he's kept a lot of his players at Boston College. They haven't gone elsewhere. He's talked about the outstanding facilities they have. He loves their park. He claims that their indoor facility is the best in the league. And by golly, it better be with the weather they have.
I will say this, Boston College, probably people would not realize. Strike 3 called on the inside edge. Jarrell gave it a second look. They have very good facilities, like the non-game day stuff, really nice there. That's how you can prepare to throw this pitch in February. I mean, that's unbelievably good.
That's just a really well located, a bit of a cutter it looked like. And home plate umpire Mike Jarbo right on it. They don't miss pitches on the inside very often. They'll miss outside pitches because they always set up on the inside. But that was a good pitch. Clemson's two-strike approach has got to make a bit of an adjustment here. I think that Coach Bakich would say we got to have a competitive at bat, a quality at bat, and that doesn't include taking a third strike on on the fourth or fifth pitch of an at bat.
There's Tristan McClatty, base hit. Glad McClatty flat out when he did, because I was going to tell you, McClatty leads the team with 17 two-out RBIs. By far, for my money, the guy I'd want to see at the plate with 2 outs more than anybody else in this Clemson lineup to get something going.
Well, right now, the Tigers are scattering their hits.
It's better when you cluster those.
Yep.
Maybe ask Eric Bakich about that coming up in the next half inning. High strike.
Off speed.
A change in speeds for Colarusso, second time through the order. Purify got locked up on a 3-2 pitch his last time. Bit of a hanger, but he loops it to center. Second baseman on a dead sprint. Williams makes the catch. Inning over. BC up 4. We'll talk to Bakich in a moment. To be joined now by Eric Bakich, head coach of the Tigers. I know tough on the pitching side for you. Your offense, you've gotten a couple guys on. What's your message to your team, or what are the things that are in your mind right now as you watch your team play the first 3 innings?
Well, we need to stop them offensively. You know, they're putting up runs in every inning, and a couple of homers will do that, a couple of doubles. But we just need to give ourselves a chance offensively, and then offensively on the flip side, we need to cut the strikeouts down. And
it was a nice bunt, and Purify makes the play. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you some credit right here. Taking infield, outfield. I don't know if you saw this. You guys practiced those coming in. Like that exact play, I watched Purify make it, and I thought, boy, if he does it in a game, it'll be great. That's perfect right there, just like it's coached, right?
That was sweet.
Well, he's a special athlete, obviously, so yeah, it's good having him back out there.
Yeah, I mean, he closed so quickly on that ball. His athletic ability is really good. Coach, they've just done a great job of, you mentioned the 2 homers, but they've had at one point 8 base runners and 6 of them scored. I mean, they've done a good, they've found holes with ground balls. They've hit the ball all over and just kind of sat back and tried not to do too much. So you got to give them some credit.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, they're a good team. They've been good all year. Their record says so, and they're very competitive kids. And right now, so far for 3 innings, they've outcompeted us offensively. So we needed to flip that script, and takes plays like what JP just did to give us a chance from a pitching and defensive standpoint.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, you need to post a couple zeros to give yourself a chance.
That's right. That's right.
Can I ask you real quick about Purify? Because I know he's a leader, and I know he's a guy you're very close with. Watching him try to lead for 6 weeks when he's not in the lineup, it had to be awesome to write his name in and just to see maybe a little shift in his approach, his body language, knowing he's going to be out there healthy enough to help you today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, his impact is huge. And so, yeah, to write his name in the starting lineup for the first time in 6 weeks is a big deal. So, yeah, we've certainly missed him and the energy he brings, and just regardless of the performance, just the presence he has out there. He's always talking, and he's a great leader. He's an awesome kid. So, you know, maybe he'll be the spark that we need.
Appreciate the time, Coach. Thanks very much.
Guys.
Enjoy the rest of the way.
All right, let's do it.
All right, that is Eric Bakich joining us. You know, you've been in these situations. I mean, we talk about RPI still in the top 50, and you can see a path, but 6-15 in the league, only won one series, and just it feels like on the margins, this team is just sort of getting death by 1,000 pinpricks. As this ball goes to the backstop, a runner was already moving.
And he had that
Solier.
base, yeah, he had that base stolen. He went first move on Legurnik.
That can be a hard thing for a coach to navigate. When you're believing in guys and you're believing, you could hear all season he's been saying we're going to turn it around, we're going to do something. And you know, you've seen a little bit of turning with some guys, and then it's sort of like playing whack-a-mole. And it can be, I know you know, it can be difficult to continue to maintain your positive approach to give that life to your team.
Look, he's got a really hard, Coach Bakich has a really tough job right now. And his job is to try to get these guys to keep competing, keep battling, and try to get a little bit better every day. Every time every time they take the field, they've got to say, hey, I'm going to get a little bit better as an individual. And if we do that every day individually, collectively, you know, we work hard too. And it's a tough situation, and that's the challenge of coaching. And now is when they really need them.
Pitch high and tight for Nick Wang. Not sure how you pitch him. They threw him a breaking ball down. He golfed it out to left. They threw him a fastball off the plate away, and they're going to put him on.
Yeah.
We talked about you're playing a bit of a dangerous game because Mainolfi's right behind him. And Mainolfi's second on the team with 46 RBIs, but the way Wang's seeing the ball, I don't blame him at all for this.
Yeah, he doesn't have the 15 dingers.
That's right. He may beat you with a single, but he's not going to beat you with 4 bases. Jimmy Bellinger back out there. And you know, when you're playing a team like Boston College and things haven't been going like you want. Again, man, this is a team had 5 errors twice last week at Louisville. In the game they played clean defensively. You know, they had a ton of runners. They have 17 runners on base. They play a clean game defensively. It's like over and over again, this team just can't put them all together. If you don't put them all together, Boston College will find that, and they'll make you pay over and over again.
Right, and that's a function of confidence, of some having a season that's going well for you. And people have to remember, this is really a small sample size. I know you're you know, almost 50 games into the season, but when you compare that to Major League Baseball, that's not even 1/3. I mean, a team can start off the first 50 games in Major League Baseball and really struggle and turn it around and end up, you know, really playing well and getting into the playoffs and that type of thing. So it's just things are so concentrated here and magnified.
36 sack bunts on the year. Again, you got a guy hitting almost 340 with 46 RBIs. Squaring on the first pitch he sees. Mainolfi's got 1 sack bunt on the year, notably not squaring there, and had 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, I guarantee if there were nobody out, he would sacrifice bunt. But watch out for the steal. I mean,
you talked about how when you coach against Todd Interdonato, they'll break some rules about taking third with no outs and two outs and all kinds of stuff. There's a look at their small ball. They can play it now.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, he doesn't go by the book. And he's made it work. Made it work at Wofford, really built that program. And obviously, he's doing a great job at Boston College. See, you've seen improvement each year.
They routinely over 100 stolen bases at Wofford, basically every year. Well over that number this year. Saw 127, only Duke with 130 on top of them in the Atlantic Coast Conference, as accounts now full to Mainolfi. Mainolfi's got himself a 9-game hit streak that he extended to 10 back in the first inning. Tapper could be tailor-made for Lichtenberger. 6-3 double play to back Legurnick. First time the Eagles have come up empty offensively. Now, can Clemson respond? We'll find out in the bottom of the fourth. Here's a look at that double play ball.
And you mentioned tailor-made, and wisely, Legurnick did not catch that baseball.
Now, as we head to the bottom of the fourth, the tradition at Doug Kingsmore Stadium will let you hear the sounds and see the sights of the thanking of the veterans by the Clemson baseball team. Take a listen.
Fans, if you're able, let's please give a standing ovation for these individuals who have given so much to serve our country.
Beautiful tribute to veterans here at Doug Kingsmore Stadium.
You know, I don't care how many times I see that. I get that really is nice. Get a little emotional and grateful.
You know, the history of the military at Clemson, it dates back to the founding of the school, which through the decades, you see it, you feel it, and I'm not sure you feel it tangibly in 2026 any better than, you know, Football Military Appreciation Day that Clemson does better than anybody in America. John Cicetta and what he started, and the folks with the marketing department here do such a great job. But this tradition where you're seeing some of the same folks, but then you see a lot of different folks who showed up today who get their moment to be recognized. And the other thing that I notice, maybe more so this time, just watching, is it can become drudgery. I mean, how many home games? You play 35 home games. You're playing a ton of home games. You're doing this 35 times. You're a player. You're maybe even shaking the same hands over and over again. The smiles, the genuine expressions that the players have.
No,
it's awesome.
A legitimate, positive experience for the players. Their enthusiasm to come up here. I mean, you could tell if they weren't enthused about it. They are. They enjoy it, and obviously the veterans do too, and certainly deserving.
Quick first out. Lichtenberger pops out to the shortstop. Not a lot of hard contact against Colarusso so far. Tigers have made it work with a couple hits and an error in a 2-run second. And the second time through, as that pitch just missed, second time through has not been much different than the first. Jack Crichton hit a rope to center field his first time up. It was caught.
And you know, neither team has walked anyone. They haven't hit. No free bases. And I mean, if you look at Clemson pitching, you say, well, you know, they're throwing strikes, and Boston College is hitting solid.
Off the handle and a leaping grab by Solier.
I'm not sure he needed to jump quite that high, but but a nice play.
You know what? Neither do figure skaters. Whoop! I'll give him that.
He gave it a little extra, some style points.
Mile in the air from Fultz. This could be an easy one if it stays in the yard, and it is. Easy 1, 2, 3. First 1, 2, 3 inning for either team belongs to Boston College and A.J. Colarusso.
Doesn't get a lot bigger than this.
Run straight for the breakaway.
Who will emerge? We'll see.
18 days, folks. May is a month of conference championship baseball. May the 19th on ACC Network. The entire tournament on the ESPN family, including the championship on May 24th. How about Duke and North Carolina owning 5 of the last 6? The only other team in that span to win the league, Clemson. Eric Backage's first season back in 2023. All 16 teams invited. Single elimination bracket, man. No muss, no fuss. Win in advance, lose and go home. 1-1 count to Gunnar Johnson. Fouled back. And still a lot to be decided. I mean, I know it seems cliche to say, oh, there's still a long way to go. One good weekend for you and a couple of bad weekends right around you, it dramatically changes the way you look at your lot in the ACC. This ball's going to be a problem. Lichtenberger makes it look easy.
Boy, that was an excuse me swing. Nice play by Lichtenberger. Made the clean transfer. Kind of a medium hop, too. Well played.
We're talking about ACC standings. You know, Boston College, and look, Georgia Tech's the class of the league. BC's 3 games back of Tech. The 2 conference series they have left, they have this series at Clemson. This is their final road action of the season. They've got a weekend series with NJIT coming up, and then a midweek, and then they host Georgia Tech. There's a slash hit through the right side by Gallo. That feels like every hit BC's had except the 2 homers has been backside.
They really sit back, let the ball get deep, and go the other way.
9 hits for Boston College. It's remarkable. Here's a look at Kyle Wolf's stats. His home run back in the 3rd. Put it on the launching pad. 105, 400 feet.
And that was on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball on the inside part of the plate. He really showed some quick hands. Couldn't catch up to that one, though.
Well, 97 from Legurnick.
Again, as I've said before, college hitters, if you don't change speeds and locate well, they're going to catch up to a fastball.
Oh, you backed up 97 with that. That's nasty.
Nice slider, cutter.
14 miles an hour difference between those 2 pitches. That'll play. Runner on the move. Swing and a miss. Gerald couldn't get it out of the glove, so that's a stolen bag for Gallo. His 8th. The strikeout of Wolf is the 3rd for Legurnick.
A little breaking pitch. Yeah, you could almost make a claim that there was a little interference there.
I don't know this. I'm going to speculate here just a little bit. It feels like that was called a lot more a couple years ago, 3-4 years ago. It felt like a point of emphasis. And it almost feels like now they've throttled that back a little. Like there were a couple years in there not that long ago where it felt like the default setting, that there was going to be interference, and then if we're going to call it, then we're going to go to review and see if it's not interference. You know? And I don't know if that's from the hires up or if that's just my impression. It felt like, you know, even calling games in this ballpark, there were just a lot of interference calls a couple years ago that now we don't have to deal with.
I mean, the fact is, Wolf was out over the plate after the swing.
Serwick takes strike 3. Legurnick, a confident stroll off the mound. Back-to-back strikeouts. He's got 4 out of the pen for the Tigers. So it's been 4 scattered hits and 6 strikeouts, and his fastball has been electric so far today. Look at the spots on these pitches.
Location, location, location. I mean, he just has climbed the ladder. He's pitched down and away. He's pitched in. He's just really moved the ball around, mixed in a couple of changeups, a couple of breaking pitches, but he's pitching off of his fastball, no question.
And Colarusso is an excellent pitcher. You know that. And he's over 40 starts right now in a Boston College uniform. A guy who, in this day and age, you got to say it, it's a badge of honor. You've been there 4 years. We're the same uniform. Facing 9-1-2 in the Clemson order. He's retired 4 straight. Bryce Clavon put a little pressure on a team that's used to that shoe being on the other foot.
With his speed.
That's right. 3-base error, plated 2 runs with 2 outs. There's a rope and a hit.
One of the few breaking pitches that we have seen from Colarusso.
Clavon with a knock. He's on again. I tell you what, man, the numbers are fine for Clavon. He barely played last year at Georgia. He transfers in. You knew it was going to take a little time. He's hitting .250 coming into the game. 10 extra base hits. That's among the team leaders in that category. 20 walks are hit by pitches for a .364 on base. 5 steals. You just see the light progressively coming on. The quality of that bat keeps getting better.
Yeah, and I like the way he plays the outfield. He's good speed, gets good jumps.
He also showed himself a little bit at second base. They moved him to second base. Again, the Tigers trying to exhaust any and all options, especially late in games, to try to make a run. And so Clavon played a little second base over the weekend and really played it fine. You see the range out there it plays in the infield. Maybe a little more discipline on the base paths. One of my favorite things about college baseball, too, is you mentioned the small sample. It can be a small sample that gets you sent to the bench and then a small sample that gets you in the lineup every day. He basically swung his way to the bench. He just wasn't having quality at-bats. He gets more opportunity, and look what he's done. You couldn't think about a lineup that doesn't have his name in it right now.
Right. Now, look at this defense that we see from Boston College, and just a massive hole, nothing between first and second base.
And that pitch is away, popped out of play. Savoy's got a lot of room right side. He poked the ball over there with 2 strikes his first time up.
You could hit a 25 hopper in that direction, and you're going to have first and third, nobody out. I think here's where you really, with 2 strikes, and you just shorten up and play a little pepper. Ooh.
Take strike 3.
There it was, right on the outside corner. A good pitch to do it on.
That's 7 strikeouts for Colarusso. And again, right at the knees. I tell you what, if you can locate with 2 strikes at the edge of the zone, not out of the zone, not in the middle, you can live like that, and that's all he's done all day.
But again, that's where the hitter has to say, okay, I've got 2 strikes on me. I can't be as aggressive. I've just got to play a little pepper. And big swings in that situation, I think, are counterproductive.
Luke Gaffney has struck out twice. And that really is a rarity. He's only got 16 strikeouts on the season. He's among the toughest in the ACC to strike out.
Yeah, he's got a lot more walks. 27 walks.
The top 3 guys in this batting order, Savoy, Gaffney, and Jarrell, so far today are a combined 1 for 7 with 6 strikeouts. Savoy's leadoff single in the game, the only time any of them have put a ball in play today. That makes your life easier if you're just getting the top 3 guys by striking them all out. Here's a look at Jarrell on deck. .3-0. Swinging. Popped up. Serwitz drops it. There's going to be a force at second anyway. Cleavon really didn't have a choice.
That actually helps Boston College. You've got a base runner who's not nearly as fast than Gaffney.
So that goes in the book as a fielder's choice.
3-6.
3-6 for out number 2. You're scoring at home. And now time is called. Ryan Forrest. Oh no, this is Todd Interdonato coming out. It won't be Ryan Forrest. Talking to the infield here with 2 outs and a man at first. No, I think he's talking maybe about the execution of that play right there.
Yeah.
It looked like he was talking his middle infield first. And I'm trying to think, okay, what could he be putting in right now with Gerald at the plate and Gaffney at first in a 4-run game? Yeah. I'm not sure he really liked how his infield responded to that pop-up.
Yeah. You know, maybe the second baseman had a better angle, should have taken over.
Well, that was a purposeful walk to the mound, though. And now Colarusso, the man at first and 2 outs, trying to collect his thoughts. Again, Gerald, a guy who's struck out twice. That ball's ripped. Left field, carrying. Goodbye. Well, that's one way to get it over, is hit it on the line. Very, very hard.
Wow. Yeah, that ball was crushed. Off-speed pitch, looked like a cutter. Exit velocity of 111 off of the bat, no doubter.
17th home run for Gerald. A missile.
393 feet. Really good swing.
That cuts the lead in half. Tigers still hanging around. They've trailed from the outset of this game, but now back within 2. Boy, right after a visit to the mound, he got a cookie. And you know what? That might actually, as McClatty takes a strike, that might actually be a good approach against Colarusso. If he's going to be painting like that with 2 strikes, swing early.
Yeah, swing early in the count, be aggressive.
McClatty just did it, popped out to the shortstop for out number 3. Jacob Gerald brings the Tigers within striking range.
The real fun just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
Well, the Men's College World Series not far away. Just about 6 weeks away. Might there be some ACC representation in Omaha as we slowly get there? Like these tractors in this race. How about North Carolina and Georgia Tech setting the pace in the league? Both teams we've seen here in Clemson. Florida State, obviously an excellent team. Boston College, right in the thick of it. I'll tell you what, nobody would bat an eye if UNC or Georgia Tech or Florida State or Virginia gets there. Boston College, sort of a fly in the ointment, so to speak, but a team that very much deserves to be in this conversation.
Well, they certainly look that way today, but they've just been outstanding all year, played solid baseball, especially in league play. And again, it's the unique way they do it, William, that I like. I mean, you've got a team that maybe one guy with some real big pop at his bat. The rest of the guys just say, okay, I'll take that 2-out hit with man on second and third and a little base hit up the middle or a ground ball in the 4-hole, and it can be just as productive.
Yeah, I mean, the second you say a declarative statement about baseball laughs in your face.
Yeah.
But
that'd be like in golf saying, hey, I got this. I found my swing.
That's right. That's exactly right. Good luck to you on the next one.
Yeah.
But the style that they play appears to be exactly tailor-made for the postseason. Now, there are some
teams, their personnel.
That's right. That's exactly right. Now, there are some teams that you'll face that have a little pop, that also have some speed and can do some things that maybe you get in a tough matchup. But if you're having to pick one of the extremes, I think a small ball approach, a little pitching, defense, run the bases, put pressure, 27 innings on a team. I just think that's how you crack a team in the postseason.
It's more consistent, yeah. I mean, there was a time when, baseball was played that way in the big leagues.
Look at Justin LeGurnick. He's down in the zone.
He has settled in.
3 straight punch-outs for LeGurnick. That gives him 5 for the night. Perfect.
But Earl Weaver was the first guy to, with the Orioles to come up and say, hey, we're playing for the 3-run dinger. They just...
Feels like a lot of approaches now.
Yeah.
Colin Larson takes a strike on the edge, 0-1. Williams, by the way, has struck out twice since his RBI double back in the second inning. Well, this is a 4-0 game in the second. Here's a grounder off of LeGurnick. Can Purify make the play? Doesn't try. Well placed, softly hit ground ball gets BC going here in the 6th. Top of the order coming.
Again, that was way in on his hands and off of his hands. And the thing that makes that double trouble for Clemson is he's 20 of 21 stealing bases. I mean, he's gonna end up on second base.
Eric Bakich going to come out. Justin LeGurnick has gone through the lineup twice. Nathan Dvorsky's throwing in the pen. Would appear to be next in line. LeGurnick so far, if this is the end of the line for him, a little rough at the outset, but he hung 2 zeros, and you mentioned it. Well, Eric Bakich told us you need stops. Was he even going to go to the pin here? Going to let LeGurnick stay in? He's letting him talk some. I tell you what, man. There's nothing fires me up as a baseball fan than when a pitcher talks his coach into leaving him in. I mean, fire me up. And a coach that gives a pitcher that kind of leeway, you don't give it to everybody, right?
No, and I think it shows a little confidence in him. This will be, as you mentioned, the 3rd look for these guys at LeGurnick.
And Solier has already singled off him twice. A gutsy move here in a 2-run game.
Good off speed, outside corner, really well located.
You may have seen it there. Eric Bakich leaning down, just telling Jimmy Bellinger how that conversation went. I thought that was funny.
Another good pitch.
At the knees, and Solier a little frustrated. Legurnick with 2 righties due up. Runner moving down and in, and again, Gerald can't get rid of it. It's another stolen base.
Well, I just feel like you've got to make at least one throw over there.
That's the 3rd stolen base of the game for Boston College. 1 in each of the last 3 innings. 3 for 3. And you can tell they really have respected Legurnick early in his outing. They were not aggressive with secondary leads. They were trying to get a good look at his move.
They were dissecting his move.
2 of the 3 guys that stole on him actually had been on base before. Snap throw back, he's out.
That was nice. They did that timing play earlier, and it was very close. Honestly, I think Larson was looking. Got him. Yep, no doubt.
The energy from Purify. And Legurnick gets the pickoff. And now, look at the inning change. A 1-2 pitch with 2 outs. And suddenly 1, 2, 3 in a roundabout manner. Well, a shot in the arm from Justin Legurnick into the ballpark. Up and down after that. A lot of energy from 33 in orange. So let's take a look. The snap throw to second for the pickoff. Just an awesome move and a little bit awkward, but he made it look easy.
And again, it's a timing play. Purify, when he gets on the rubber, counts maybe 1, 2, and breaks to the bag, and Legurnick with the quick snap throw.
Go back. Go ahead.
Really well executed.
Go back here as Purify takes a strike. Runner at first, 1 out. Top of the order coming up. Guy that's already hit Legurnick twice. Eric Bakich comes out. And Justin Legurnick talks his way into the game. He talked himself into staying in.
Yep.
They get the pickoff after a stolen base on an 0-2 pitch. And then the next pitch, a ground out to first to end the inning. Those are the types of decisions that if they backfire, it could lead to a long rest of the night. But if they work, it could swing momentum in your favor.
Yep. And it certainly did in this case. I mean, you saw the excitement from Purify coming off there. Legurnik obviously pretty excited as well. You mentioned he had trouble sitting down. A lot of energy.
1-2 to Purify, misses. Pitch number 80 for Colarusso. No stranger to going deep into ball games.
I don't think pitch count is going to be an issue for him.
No.
Fifth-year senior. If he's effective, they'll keep him in there.
Well, he's effective, all right. Second time he struck out Purify. That's the 8th strikeout of the ball game. And what's amazing about Colarusso is all 8 of those strikeouts have come to the first 5 batters. He's now in the part of the order that's put him in play.
Yeah. A little bit of a cutter there. Well, he's really done a nice job of moving his fastball around. Saw that one up and in.
One defensive change for Boston College. When DeShazo's in left field. Ground ball to second. Underhand from Mainolfi, 2 down. So 2 up, 2 down, and I got to be honest with you. We showed you the new left fielder. That's where Wang was playing out there in left field. He's
Wang's
supposed to. He's moved to first base. Okay, so we're having to do this on the fly a little bit. So Surowick is taken down, it would appear. There's Nick Wang at first base.
Surowick was the one who missed that fly ball. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with it, but a really, really easy inning for Colarusso. Wow.
Here in Clemson, where tomorrow is going to be a big day. We'll look at some of the big concerts they've had here in the past. You get Pink Floyd, obviously. Rolling Stones, 89. Elton John. People still talk about the Elton John concert in 95. You see the Eagles there in the mid-90s. This is my childhood right here. George Strait, 1999. And 27 years later, George Strait is back in Death Valley tomorrow. Just beyond us. In my opinion, as a baseball guy, the second most important event of the day in Clemson, South Carolina. A George Strait concert. That is, tickets, they're not giving them away, folks. I'll just tell you that right now. It is going to be slam-packed here. Baseball, the opening act tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Plenty of time to come here, enjoy the baseball, and then head across the street. Here's Nick Wang. And I really thought they'd leave Legurnick in and then take him out after the inning, but he's back.
He's done some more talking in the dugout, apparently.
That's right. Again, Dvorsky was ready with 2 outs, or with 1 out rather, in the 6th. Big cut by Wang. Home run, double, intentional walk for Wang. He's driven in 2. .15 homers and 58 RBIs.
Yeah, I think you stay away from him, even though he did stroke the double down the line. It wasn't the real powerful swing that you see on the pitches that are on the inside part of the plate.
Two pitch to Wang. Foul back.
He just fought that one off. Down and away, probably out of the strike zone. Real short. Just said, okay, I'm just going to foul it off and see another pitch. Again, a very veteran and pro-type approach.
Foul again. That one got a piece of Gerald. Right off the hand.
Oh, boy.
That stings.
No, you just hope that, I mean, it so easily can be something serious. Break his thumb. Here you see it's a breaking ball. It bounced
right off the wrist.
It bounced off of the ground first, but nonetheless.
It's way outside. And a full count now to Wang. The only walk so far today issued by either team was an intentional walk of Wang. Will Legurnick bring one in? He won't.
Well, that was semi-intentional.
Just don't give in.
Yeah.
8-pitch at bat is a good battle. It's very different from what we saw this weekend. Clemson and Louisville in 3 games up in Kentucky combined for 50 walks and hit batters in 3 games.
That's just no fun. I mean, I love baseball. There's no better game than baseball when the ball is in play. There's nothing more exciting than seeing a ball hit in the right center gap and a guy rounding second, going to third, and it's a great game when the ball's in play. When there are a lot of walks, not so much.
Yeah, Louisville walked 14 batters and 1 on Sunday. Clemson left 17 batters on base. Offensive timeout for Boston College. Here's a look at what they've done today. Again, without benefit of free passes, Clemson's not giving them anything.
Yeah.
They've had to earn all of this so far. The 5 extra base hits and the 3 stolen bases. Those 2 hits to runners in scoring position were early.
Yeah. Now,
here's a good bunt. Legurnick makes the play. Mainolfi, the 3-hitter, sacrifices with 1 out.
We talked about that earlier.
Only 1 sacrifice all year. 3-0 hitter, doesn't matter. Going to do the job. 1-3 sacrifice moves Wang to second base. Now 2 shots to get him in. Here's Gunnar Johnson.
Interesting that they would bunt. I mean, Wang is 11 of 12 stealing bases. Despite not being very fast, I think people forget about him.
Well, you got to think, too, I mean, you're still on 130 bases now. Some of that is going to be guys on the back end of a double steal or something like that. Maybe a hit and run, guy throws it in the dirt. Not saying that's how he gets to 11, but when you run that much, you're getting them a lot of ways. There's that snap throw again, and Purify had to leave his feet. Boston College 4 for 11 with runners on base. And McGurnick has had to work around some of that. BC stranded a man at second in the fourth, stranded a man at second the fifth. Got a man picked off at second with one out in the sixth. And has another man at second here in the seventh.
What good fastball down and in. Just missed.
And McGurnick 78 pitches. Still throwing 96. Not tired.
I think if he, as long as he's effective, keep him in there. Certainly don't want to stretch your bullpen. Trying to win a ball game, of course, but I mean, he's really settled in the last 3 innings.
McGurnick started last year as a starting pitcher. Started 6 games a year ago. Now is more of a multi-inning back into the bullpen piece. Lichtenberger gets the out. Wang stays put.
Another fastball. Well located and pretty easy play for Lichtenberger. A couple steps to his right, but very routine. Wang does a nice job reading the play. The ball, your second base ball hit to your right. Got to see it through.
Here's Gallo, already a multi-hit game for him.
And again, if you look at him, he just doesn't look like a third baseman, does he? 5'10",
No.
5'10", 170. He looks like a second baseman, maybe shortstop. Usually at third base, you have someone a little bit bigger.
I'll tell you what, though, you're hitting 345 in conference play, we'll find a spot, buddy.
That'll keep you in the lineup on it.
That's right. 2 hits, a run scored, a stolen base.
And this, again, is what Boston College has just been exceptional at tonight. These 2-out hits with runners in scoring position.
Couldn't get one there. Justin Legurnick, 6 strikeouts. His night continues and the inning ends. Been a good one. Number 20 Boston College, the lead at Clemson in the first of 3. William Quaggamush, Ron Smith. Glad to have you here. AJ Colarusso, 6 strong innings, a quality start. He exits a game in which Boston College has seen 2 different 4-run leads. 4-0 in the second and then 6-2 in the third. But right now Clemson within 2, and with 8, 9, and 1 due up, the Eagles coach decide to go to the bullpen.
Yeah.
Interesting choice here with Colarusso. You'd think maybe let him go all the way through. There's a decision there, but you bring on the Venezuelan sophomore, Cesar Gonzalez here.
Yeah, only 5'9". Certainly not your prototypical body for a pitcher. He is a catcher pitcher. As you can see, he's been very effective.
Boy, I love that walk to strikeout ratio.
Only 7 walks.
Yeah. This Boston College bullpen, they've got some quality here. And 3 right-hand batters coming up. That may be part of the equation. Really 5 if you go all the way Savoy, Gaffney, and Gerald.
Yeah, and you're going to see some, this where you saw Colarusso pitch off of his fastball. I think you're going to see a guy pitch off of his breaking pitch here. There's 2 in a row.
Foltz gives it a ride left center, just missed it.
Ooh.
Catch made. Williams the late call on DeShazo. Colarusso's numbers, again, 85 pitches. They were starting to hit him earlier and earlier, maybe seeing the ball a little better, but no walks, 8 strikeouts, and he did his job exactly.
Boy, very impressive. We talked about him moving his fastball around. That probably was the most impressive thing to me. I don't think that, he had a super tight slider or just a devastating changeup. He just moved that fastball around.
There's Bryce Clavon. Reached on an error and singled, so he has run the bases twice today. He is the only Tiger that ran the bases each of his first 2 times up to bat. And in fact, even the 3rd time through, nobody ran the bases twice except him, and he won't run them this time.
Well, so much for those breaking pitches. That was 94-mile-an-hour fastball. The last 2 really good-looking pitches, and he climbed the ladder there.
I gotta say, he must be a heck of a catcher because if you can pitch like that, I'll just put P and be done with it. Mercy. 2 quick outs. Here's Savoy, top of the order. Has struck out his last 2 times. He hit the top of that baseball. Jacob Gerald homered with 1 out. This ball's given a ride. Center field, backing Williams at the wall. He makes the catch. Savoy tried to trim the lead more, but a 1-2-3 inning quickly for Gonzalez and the Eagles. Tailgate, in-game baseball tailgate, pre-George Strait tailgate. Not sure what you'd call it, but the Jervy Junkies are here.
Yeah, they've got nice couches up there, and
looks like 1 couch available.
Yeah.
Boy, you don't ever see the love seat available right there. Prime real estate. Just saying, it's a great vantage point. Can't speak to the seating conditions. Here's a look at Justin Legurnick, though.
Hey, job he did.
What a night for him, coming in with 2 outs in the second inning. He gives up a couple of hits with a man on base, gives up a run of his own. He gave up a home run later. After Wolf's home run in the third, he locked it in.
Yeah.
And Legurnick was sensational. And I got to say, maybe the mascot of the Jervy Junkies is Nathan Dvorsky, because he's got a really good fastball, but his splitter is junky as all get out. It's awesome.
We talked about the big swing from Wolf against Legurnick. That was a huge swing in this ball game, the 2-run dinger. And it was, I mean, it was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and he was looking for it and got his bat head out in front and took it out of the yard.
93 for Dvorsky. And the idea for Dvorsky is simple. Establish the fastball, pitch off the fastball to the split. Got a curveball he throws in there, too, that's pretty good. There's the split. No go. 6, 7, 8 in the order. So look at the check swing. Haven't seen a lot of check swings today.
Ooh, that's close.
Breaker missed low, ball 3. Dvorsky, short stint reliever for the most part, has not given up a run in 4 straight relief appearances, and there's a 4-pitch walk out of the pen. It's the second walk issued by either team today.
That was not,
on purpose.
That was not intentional.
Yeah, that was not intentional.
Even
right.
semi-intentional.
And a word. Well, you got 2 captains coming out talking to you. That tells you how your first batter went. Dvorsky cracking a smile in there talking to Gerald. Purify came in there first. Here's Owen DeShazo. Came in to play left. Veteran. 6'6", 230 from Glen Allen, Virginia. Well, I tell you what, a long limb 6'6" squaring to bunt is something you don't see all the time. If he does it again, I don't know that you'll ever see a square quite like this. Bunt down, it spins foul. His job, of course, is to get Wolf 90 extra feet. He came in for Serwick defensively. DeShazo does not have a sack bunt on the year.
And Wolf does not have a stolen base.
That's right. Only 4 Boston College position players that have appeared in a game do not have a sacrifice bunt. Wang, as you would imagine, Serwick, DeShazo, who does now. 5-3, gets the out, and now there are only 3 that don't have a sack bunt. Again, coming into the game, they had 36 to lead the conference. And that's their second one tonight. Mainolfi had one with nobody out in the 7th. Here's Ben Williams.
And again, that's just a philosophy of Coach Interdonato.
Long run. Anybody runs out of room.
That, you know, we're going to play for 1, 2 runs. Of course, another run in this situation is huge.
Hey, this is a spot again where you're up 2, but boy, the individual runs do matter. And you might, you know, the modern analytics would say this, you're not playing for a 4-run inning. You literally are playing for the 1 run. But that's the trust you have in your pitching staff and your defense too, right?
Yeah. And I think you keep now look at changes everything now. Now you're going to have the Clemson infield play in on the grass.
That's one thing about college baseball too. A little different from the pros. Sometimes the other team can help you. You just get them around, let the other team help you. And the infield will come in. The outfield going to creep in some as well with Williams, a 167 batter at the plate. He was way late. 1-2.
I was a little surprised we didn't see a safety squeeze there.
Blew it by him. 94. 2 away. That's one way to avoid a productive out. Don't let him hit it at all.
Good pitch. Really tough pitch to hit. Down and away, 94 miles an hour.
Here's Colin Larson, 1 for 3. Singled, stole a base back in the 6th, was picked off at second in a pivotal play. Strike with a breaking ball. Mostly breaking balls from Dvorsky in terms of the off speed, not as much of the split finger.
Boy, if you throw that split finger, you just got to make sure you don't throw it in the dirt like that. Great job. Jacob Jarrell, you know, that's the danger there, especially, you know, with a man on third base, but great job by Jarrell. Knock that down, funnel it back out towards home.
Dvorsky, despite that, he's pitched 7 1/3 innings, only 1 wild pitch this year. Mile in the air, out of play. 1-2 the count.
Well, I don't know if I'd stay. I think I'd climb the ladder right here.
That was a pretty good swing down.
Yeah, on a breaking pitch. I don't know if I'd let him, you know, with his bat speed, catch up to his fastball.
He did it. Ground ball, out recorded. Dvorsky escapes. Tigers still within 2 with 6 outs to play with. Activity crossing home plate happening in the first 3 innings of this game. Since the 4th, the Jacob Jarrell 2-run homer, the only thing we've seen that didn't involve pitchers or defenders getting outs. And you look at Clemson here, 2 for 11 with runners on base. So far today, a single by Jason Foltz in the 2nd, and the 2-run homer by Jacob Jarrell in the 5th. The only 2 hits with men on base. Now, both of those hits led to 2-run innings. Jarrell is up second here, and Luke Gaffney, who's got an 11-game hit streak on the line here in the 8th, only has put 1 in play. He did score back in the 5th. Reese on a fielder's choice. Gaffney didn't like that call.
No, he did not, and probably for good reason.
Gonzalez back out there again. Check swing. That was a nasty fastball. Riding way in on his head.
Yeah, that had some really good movement. Run. Arm side run. Another one.
Bounce toward the right side. On the move, Mainolfi makes the play. Now here's Gerald. He can't tie the game, but he can bring Clemson closer with a swing like we saw last time. First pitch of the exchange with Colarusso. He smashed it over the left field fence, almost 400 feet. Swinging early again. I don't blame him for going back to the well.
Yeah, that ball was really well hit. Launch angle under 20, but boy, it got out of here in a hurry. Just missed inside.
Would you believe it if I told you that's the first ball thrown to Jacob Gerald tonight? The 14th pitch he's seen. Either strikes, balls in play, or foul balls.
Yeah, it's really interesting. You've got the listing of Gonzalez as a pitcher-catcher.
Did not go. Gerald will hang around for one more pitch.
He looks pretty good out there on the mound.
Yeah, he does. Check. He did.
Yeah, that was, again, I think that's the toughest call for an umpire.
No question. Just away. And now a full count.
Good eye by Gerald. That's a hard pitch to lay off of.
Tying run on deck. And now coming to the plate. First walk drawn by Clemson tonight. Jacob Gerald already extended it, but will officially extend his, at least from our eyes, his 23-game on-base streak now. He has been running the bases a lot lately in the heart of the order for this baseball team. And now McClatty getting the call. Time call. They're going to call a pitch clock violation on McClatty. It looked like McClatty wasn't sure of the sign he was getting, so he gave it another look, and so now he's in an 0-1 hole. Foul tip.
Well, that's a tough way to start an at-bat.
Yeah, it is. McClatty, a hit today, has put the ball in play 3 times. Talked about McClatty's prowess with 2 outs. He's hitting over .320 with runners in scoring position. Had the game-tying 2-run single in the 9th against Louisville on Sunday. Good take.
Some kind of an off-speed, maybe a change up there at 81 miles an hour. Glad he does a good job of sitting back and taking that pitch. You know he's anxious to hit.
Three straight of miss for Gonzalez.
And he has not walked many.
Only 7 coming in.
Yeah. His control has been impeccable.
Payoff pitch. Down he goes.
Change up.
Sped his bat up big time.
Yeah, really well located too. Wow.
Now, Boston College has done a lot of things great tonight. I think the location of two-strike pitches
really good
to get out has been really impressive.
And I tell you, this is a confident group. Just looking at this young man, he's just a sophomore, and he's walking around out there like he owns that mound. And have the confidence to throw a 3-2 changeup. Pretty impressive.
He also didn't look a gift horse in the mouth. He got a strike without throwing a pitch.
No kidding.
And
yeah.
didn't lose the at-bat.
Well, you see the outfielders for Boston College playing really deep, as they should.
Now charging in, making the catch is Mainolfi. One out walk, stranded. BC heads to the ninth, up 2. On the board as we head to the ninth here in Clemson. Nobody leaving yet in a 2-run ball game. Top of the BC order due up. How about this number down at the bottom of your screen? The table setters have set the table quite well today, and Solier, Wang, and Mainolfi, 5 combined hits, and they've driven in half the runs.
Conversely, that you've not seen that from the top of the Clemson order.
I know they are a combined 2 for 11. Pitch missed downstairs. Solier. Couple of hits for Solier, not at all surprising. He's done that all year.
Yeah, this Boston College team, they play with some swagger. Just look at them with their body language.
22nd multi-hit game for Solier this year. He's on base all the time.
Yeah, 3 breaking balls in a row from Dvorsky to Solier.
And he'll run the bases with a walk. Fans didn't like how he threw the bat. In his defense, he is quite experienced getting to first base.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, he knows what he's doing. 3rd time he's been on today. He came in 2nd in the league with 69 hits and tacked 2 more on. And now Eric Bakich going to go to the bullpen after the leadoff walk. Here's what he does with the bat. You got a problem with this?
Yeah, what's that all about?
Yeah, I'm not real sure.
Yeah,
Felt a little forceful.
Yeah, that I'm not sure I understood that. I'm not sure that umpire Mike Jarvie appreciated it very much either.
Back to his bullpen, a reliable right-handed arm through the ages. Joe Allen, aloft the ERAs, had a couple of bloated numbers in some outings, but a guy they really have counted on when you get some guys on base to get them out of messes. More of a janitor than anything else in his bullpen.
Well, what he's going to have to do now is try to keep Solier from stealing a base.
Easier said than done.
Well, probably not going to see Wang bunt. I mean, you know,
that's true. I would be
the way he's
stunned.
swinging the bat, he's swinging it so well. And you've got such a prolific base runner. 25 of 28 now, stealing bases. I mean, Solier is really good there, and maybe you give him a shot to do that. Possibly Allen holds runners on better than Dvorsky. That might be part of the equation for bringing him in this situation. Probably more important than that is you got to throw strikes.
65th career appearance for Joe Allen.
Wow.
Really a long-standing member of this Clemson bullpen. Has a save on the year and a 3-0 record. There's a strike. Drops in a breaking ball to Wang.
Yeah, I love that 0-0 breaking ball.
First pitch out of the bullpen's got to be disarming to the batter, too, because you're just sure you're going to see a fastball. Runner does not move, and the pitch does not hit the zone.
Would you consider a pitch out here?
Yes, I was just thinking that. Solier seemed like a guy who feels like he can get a read on Allen, and they do throw over. He took a step that way, almost as if to see, if I do this again, do I think I can steal it? He's diving back. Honestly, at this point, it may be a matter of when, not if. He just looks real comfortable over there. Hit to short. Got the out. Runner was moving, so easily to second base. The Tigers certainly will take the out in exchange for what would have been a stolen base. And they'll take the out of Wang, who they just retired for the first time today.
Yeah, that's a big out. And again, the pressure is not over with Solier at second base. He will, and they're aware of that, of course.
Here's what's happened the last 2 innings. Top of the 7th, leadoff walk, sac bunt, runner stranded at second. Top of the 8th, here comes Eric Baggett, by the way. Top of the 8th, leadoff walk, sac bunt, runner stranded at third. So you do wonder if Todd Interdonato might use this opportunity to take third with one out and see if a batted ball gets a run in.
Yeah. Well, look, I think they have the green light anytime, especially him. Wow, we're gonna have pitching change here.
Bullpen. This will be freshman Nick Frisco coming into the game. Eric Bakich winding him up out of the pen. Here, 6'4", 200 out of Miller Place, New York. Nick Frisco, his third career appearance. He pitched an inning against Wake Forest in Charlotte and an inning against North Carolina on April the 12th in the 9th inning of a loss. And now tonight.
I mean, I think you're looking for the lefty-lefty matchup. And he's probably had some good bullpens. So showing a lot of confidence in the freshman. And you know, by this time of year, you really shouldn't feel like a freshman anymore. You gotta be ready to go.
That runner still Dvorsky's responsibility at second base. He walked the leadoff man. Joe Allen throws 3 pitches, gets the ground out of Wang, which is a big out, and then his job is done. And now Eric Bakich turns it over to a lefty. Now they like him, but again, he did not pitch in February or March and has not thrown in 3 weeks. So a big spot to come into with Mainolfi, who is 1 for 3. He did sacrifice his last time.
He's driven in 46. He's obviously no stranger to this situation. Planning to pull.
Time called. You're gonna say pitch clock? Oh, and Clemson's dugout not sure about that now. They're asking.
Wow.
Yeah, Eric Bakich gonna come out because Jimmy Bellinger's hot. And now the entire Clemson dugout's hot. Eric Bakich going to have to protect his assistants here because they jumped up out of their seats.
Tough start for the freshman here.
That's a second pitch clock violation for Clemson. 1 in the bottom of the 8th offensively, and then here in the top of the 9th. Back and forth here. Doesn't seem contentious.
No,
you look at the 8, 7, and
well,
it's winding down. But hit 0. It did hit 0. You saw it hit 0. And Frisco, I mean, it looked like at about 8, he wasn't really even close to being ready. Not sure what the delay was there, but he starts 1-0. And honestly, if the clock started when it was supposed to, home plate umpire's got no choice there. You might see another one of those. 76-mile-an-hour breaking ball.
Yep.
You did.
Boy, give that young man some credit after pitch clock violation, the relative delay there with the discussion with the umpire. He comes out and throws 2 good breaking pitches.
That one gets by. You just knew he was going to throw one and missed, and he missed by too much. And once again, a wild pitch moves the runner to third with 1 out. The Tigers did escape this very situation an inning ago after the strikeout by Dvorsky of Williams. Striking out Mainolfi is a bit of a different bird. Grounder through, and a big run crosses for Boston College. Mainolfi does what he does. He drives in number 47 of the year.
And again, I mean, this is a ball that's hit okay, but if it's 4 feet to the left, it's right at Lichtenberger, and he's got to play at the plate. And that's the difference between teams that things are going well for them and things aren't.
Frisco misses low.
Well, that leadoff walk.
Huge.
Yep.
Well, and as we said, Clemson did it 3 times in a row. Runner moving, throw down, he's safe. 4 stolen bases for Boston College.
And this is what they do. They'll keep the pressure on. While you're thinking about, oh man, just got that run in, feeling good about that, and they're already stealing another one.
Boston College now with 4 steals today. That gives them 131 for the season, which is a new program record. That ball is cracked, and it rolls up the arm of Lichtenberger. It almost got by the left fielder, Crichton. That's an error on the shortstop. And men on the corners now for BC.
Ball hit pretty hard. Like Lichtenberger really didn't get his head down behind that one. See his head, you gotta really get your head right behind there. Right behind the ball and look it in.
And if you're Frisco, you come in. There's a strike. You get 2 ground balls.
No kidding.
I mean, if that ain't the job.
Yeah, he's done a good job. And again, the first one, it's baseball. It's a game of inches.
Safety squeeze to the mound, flip to home, safe. That may have been the only play he had because the bunt was perfect. And it's 8-4. The base running for Boston College strikes again with Mainolfi finding the plate. They're going to challenge it here. You see Gerald tag him sort of either on the tricep or the shoulder.
Ooh,
I think he is close.
Yeah.
I thought he was safe live.
Yeah, I did too, and I thought the throw was just a little high. Had that throw been a little bit lower, would have given Jacob Gerald a much better chance to get that tag down.
There's another look at that same angle.
Pretty athletic play by Frisco. See the ball up there a little bit.
I think he's safe. Looks like he touches right there. Yep. Yep, he's going to be safe. Great hustle. From down the line, you sort of see the base disappear.
This is a good line. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's in there. Yeah, you think about this inning. You've got the walk, the stolen base, and then the advance to third on the 6-3, and then the infield's in, and a ground ball goes through the infield. I mean, and you know, then you have the first and third situation, safety squeeze, well executed. Give Boston College a lot of credit. I mean, that's just good execution up and down the lineup.
Eric Bakich going to make the slow walk. Frisco won't get credited for an out. The ball didn't leave the infield. I mean, it bounced through it, but
yeah.
You know what I mean. Two ground balls and a bunt. Back to the bullpen we go after this. Bullpen, Eston Simpson. He's been in a variety of roles this year. He's been a midweek starter a couple of times. 17 innings pitched, more of a pitch to contact guy. And somebody that really could use a double play ground ball immediately with his team already down 4 and Boston College with 2 across and 2 on in the inning.
Yep. Obviously a double play is what Clemson is looking for, but I'm not sure that Coach Bellinger is going to use one of their high-profile bullpen guys, saving them for tomorrow and Sunday.
That really is the tricky part of being down.
Yeah.
Is, you know, when you're down 2, do you want to protect the 2-run deficit in case you come back? Do you want to try to get by? And that, when you're navigating the first game of a series, that's something you have to think through as a coach, right?
Yeah.
Guy at the plate, Kyle Wolf, has already homered today. So you certainly don't want to mess around there.
2 runs on 1 hit for Boston College in this inning. And you talk about their ability to produce runs, manufacture runs. And that was on display, certainly in this half inning. It's still only 1 out.
That's right. Clemson has used 4 pitchers in the inning. Now, I'm trying to think in my head of a time when it's probably okay to use 4 pitchers in an inning. I think when you get to 4, you're probably like, this thing's gone a little sideways.
Yep.
And still 2 outs to get. Bottom of this BC order. Everybody in the BC lineup has a hit today except Johnson, the cleanup hitter, who's standing on second base, reached on the E6. Simpson gets a whiff on 92. Book is closed on Allen. He faced 1 batter, got him out. Book not closed on Frisco, responsible for the other 2 runners, and that hit him. We talked about how Clemson had not walked anybody outside of the intentional walk of Wang for the first 6 innings. This is the 4th Walker hit by pitch in the final 3.
That's a fastball that just runs in on him. It does get him in his right forearm.
And now the bases are loaded with 1 out for Ben DeShazo. There's a look at him. DeShazo sacrificed his last time up. He'll not be bunting here.
Yeah.
I would be stunned.
Yeah, Clemson looking for the Lawrence Welk. You know what that is?
A 1, a 2, a 3?
And a 1, and a 2,
Yes.
and a 3. You're too young to.
Oh, man. I only know Lawrence Welk from the SNL sketches.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Boy, what a commanding position that this BC offense is in right now.
Clemson has come up with some pitching and defense answers tonight. This game could have gotten away long ago with the leadoff walks and the runners in scoring position and everything else. Now you're seeing some cracks in the foundation. .3-0, swinging. 3-0 bases loaded, swinging foul. May not see a better pitch than that.
No kidding. Yeah, that's the aggressiveness. And again, Coach Interdonato not afraid to go against the book.
Well, that was see it and hit it. He rifled a fastball right by him at 93.
Good for him.
Todd Interdonato trying to get greedy here in a 2-run inning. 3-2. Grounder. 4, 6, 3. Another defensive answer. It's the Tigers out of a bases loaded jam. Down by 4.
And a 1, and a 2.
On base. If that continues, we're going home quickly. The Tigers going to need a bunch of people on base. They're going to have to play them in a hurry. Down 4 runs. Excellent job by Boston College. They kept sort of knocking on the door in the latter innings, couldn't get anything going. They stuck to the script, and it finally worked against Clemson.
That's right. There are several times where they had runners in scoring position. They bunted them and gave up an out and weren't able to come up with a hit. But in that particular inning, to me, what Boston College did in that inning was just, let's get the next hitter up. Let's get the next, I'm going to get on base. I'm going to get the next hitter up.
6, 7, 8 due up. Lichtenberger, Crichton, and Fultz Jr. for Clemson. These are 3 guys who put the ball in play every time up and hit it hard. Lichtenberger's got a single today.
Yeah, you got to really have to almost take a strike in this situation, even though Gonzalez has not walked many at all this year, but
he has been a little more erratic than you would have thought at times. He walked Gerald.
Yeah.
He got McClatty to 3-2 and then threw a beautiful changeup. Now Lichtenberger's ahead 2-1. Tigers have had...
That was a really interesting pitch. A 2-1 changeup. You're up 4. He's got a lot of confidence in that, obviously.
Ball 4. Fourth time today. Excuse me, third time today that Clemson has had the leadoff man on. They've yet to score the leadoff man. They did score 2 when they got the leadoff man on in the 5th. He was a race on a fielder's choice. He had a 2-run homer anyway.
That was only their second walk.
This is an immediate player visit. Everybody's doing some talking out there. Well, I tell you what, I've been impressed by Boston College's sense of urgency. You know, we talked Todd Interdonato. He didn't love how they played that one play in the infield. He comes immediately out to address it. They walk the leadoff man. They go immediately together. They're going to come and address it. There's a sense of urgency there collectively that I think is understood across the board. Jack Crichton's hit it hard 3 times. 2 lineouts and a flyout. That ball skips.
Yeah. Nowhere to go in that situation for Lichtenberger. His run means nothing.
Gonzalez has thrown 2 solid innings, allowed just 2 base runners counting this walk. Both walks, actually. And another one bounces. He has 2 of Boston College's 6 saves in ACC play. Those are his only 2 saves of the year. Collectively, they have 14 saves as a staff. Seven different players have at least 1. Said Crichton has not reached today. Only Crichton and Purify have yet to run the bases for Clemson. And those are 2 guys you would imagine are running most days. They're going to find some way on. Jack did not agree with strike 2.
That was close. And again, now is where, well, you shorten up, put it in play somewhere. You got to, again, the big 4-hole.
Beat him with a fastball. 1 gone in the inning. First time Crichton struck out. 3rd K for Gonzalez.
Well located fastball down and in.
Clemson still does not have a hit since Gerald's home run in the 5th. Other than the 2 walks, everybody else has been sat down since that point. Here's a strike to Jason Fultz Jr., who singled and scored in the 2nd inning. Bottom of the Clemson order looking to flip it here and need 4 runs in a hurry.
Yeah, they need to get Gerald and McClatty up there. That's got to be their goal.
They're going to need 4 good at-bats to get to Gerald in the 3 spot. We'll keep coming back to it. Clemson 2 for 14 with runners on base after that strikeout. And Boston College really had not been great in that regard until the 9th. They've got 5 hits and 19 at-bats with men on base today.
But they've had productive outs.
Yes, they have. That's what that stat doesn't tell you all the time. If you got people on with nobody out and you move them, you should get runs out of that.
The sacrifice flies, ground out with the man on third base, less than 2 outs.
Just missed. Ball 3. And again, Gonzalez falls behind. He's had a problem with that.
But he's made really good pitches. And he has not been afraid to throw his changeup in this situation. I don't think you're going to see it here.
He did throw a fastball and miss with it. 2 on, 1 out. And now the tying run moves on deck for Clemson. Pitcher in the bullpen is 17, Gavin Suarez. He just moved to the inside rubber there. And pitching coach visit. Chit chat on the mound. Todd Donato doesn't look like he's bringing the hook with him. It looks like he's coaching.
Doesn't look like Suarez is anywhere near ready.
No, I don't think so.
Thrown a pitch yet.
And it looks like there's going to be a pinch hitter for Clemson, and it is. Ty Dally is going to walk up to grab a bat. Come in the game, the transfer from Mercer. See if he can have a quality at bat, keep the train moving. This is Dally's first plate appearance since April the 11th. He takes a fastball strike, 0-1. And no secret today, this season has not gone the way that Ty Dally nor Clemson thought that it would. Well, you could change some hearts and minds today with a big at-bat. Big cut, and he's down 0-2. Can he choke up here? Poke a ball the other way. Dally 268 with runners in scoring position. Diving stop at short. They'll get 1 out. That's all at second base. That's a heck of a play by Solier. Yes.
Big out.
Look here at Solier. I mean, he goes full extension here.
And once again, I say that when things are going your way, when you're winning, those plays are made. If that ball's another foot to the left, it's up the middle. You got bases loaded.
And he's going to go down. Now, he was trying to walk it off a little bit. And now let's see. Boy, it looked like he was walking some stuff off. Now, bring athletic trainer out.
I didn't see where he must have twisted something, but I certainly didn't see it. Maybe he stepped on the bag wrong and twisted his ankle.
Maybe cramping? Maybe he just now started cramping. Looks like Talon Bell's going to go pinch run at first base. We resume play. I mean, look, I know there's 2 outs in the 9th. You're up 4. But you hate to see this from your shortstop. I know it's just cramping, but you really would like your shortstop to be in there for out 27 if you're Boston College.
And your leadoff hitter. I mean, he's he is very valuable to this
Eagle ball
club.
He's going to try to play. Good for him. Well, you can see those look, man. He's been doing some, he's been doing legs. Yeah. He ain't missed a day. But those calves do look, they look a little tight. There's Bell running at first. Pitcher who has discovered a two-way career in the last couple of weeks. Had some success. Well, opposite field home run for him. Here's Savoy. Chance to keep the game going. Can't tie it.
Yeah, I mean, they're one hitter away from bringing the tying run to the plate, and that's someone who's got some pop in Gaffney. So, again, you love to see a 3-run dinger here, but sometimes those are rally killers.
Ball 2, just up under the chin of Savoy. Nate singled on an 0-2 pitch his first time up today. Has struck out twice and hit a fly ball to the wall in center his last 3 times. Ball 3. Luke Gaffney's got an 11-game hit streak, Coach, and he's waiting on deck for a chance here if Savoy can reach.
Yeah, and look at that hole between first and second base. It's just massive.
Get me over strike keeps Gonzalez in it. I know there's action going there, but Todd Interdonato wants 24 to get that last out. He does not want to have to use another pitcher today.
I agree.
Long look in for 3-1. Popped up. Shallow center. Converging. And Williams has it. And Boston College wins the opener here in Clemson. 8-2 in their last 10 ACC games. It was the early fireworks, the extra base hits, the homers and the doubles, and the peskiness late in the ball game that got Boston College over the line today.
No, I agree. I mean, Clemson's bullpen, Legurnick in particular, really did a nice job of posting 5 zeros there in the middle part of the ball game after Boston College had scored 6 early runs and gave Clemson an opportunity to come back. But again, adding those late runs with the way that they do it, they manufacture runs and did a great job. Both teams pitched fairly well, not a lot of walks, not a lot of errors, but Clemson's inability to drive runs in with 2 outs and leaving runners in scoring position really caught up with them.
Tigers and Eagles will be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Hope you'll come back here at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Our friends Darren Vaught and Bobby Miranda will have the call of that one. Our thanks to Easton Smith, our producer, our great staff here in Clemson. For Ron Smith, I'm William Qualkenbush saying so long tonight. We'll see you next time here on ACC Network.